I had no idea going into this job some of the stuff that I would see and have to live with and experience multiple times in one day.
It can be very traumatic, and I mean, you see people on their worst days.
Then, of course, the stigma comes with, you can't handle it. What's wrong with you? Just buck up, do your job.
When you are witnessing trauma after trauma, it's very hard to shut that off when you come home. And therefore, our first responders typically have relationship problems, substance use problems, alcoholism, oftentimes depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, lots of anxiety.
You try to explain to your family that, what kind of day you've had, what type of toll it took on you, and they can empathize, but to fully understand or feel what you're going through or the mental exhaustion that you have, they can't.
I found myself trying to release those pressures on my family. It was really easy to be very short and flat about our communication.
I've known a few deputies and a few officers who've taken their own lives, and the things we said after they were gone, I heard too often. Gee, I never knew.
It's so important for our first responders to have a place to go for confidential, free help. A first responder or their family member can reach out, dial 211, identify as a first responder or a family member, and you will be immediately connected to a peer specialist that's a first responder. That peer specialist is someone that has walked a mile in your shoes.
You speak the same language, you have the same experiences in life, they know what you're talking about.
There's no ranking. It's two people in a room, one struggling, one has struggled before.
It made it easier to process feelings fast when I felt like somebody can hear me and not cast judgment.
With peer support, I was able to reset myself, get some different perspective, change my mindset a little bit so that I didn't feel so bad.
Who has access to our program are our first responders and their immediate family members, and also first responders that have already served and perhaps are retired or going on to a different career.
It's easier now than ever to find someone to talk to, so you don't have to go through that entire 20-year career and realize at the end of that career that you have things you haven't dealt with.
We're able to serve 20 counties in north central, northeast Florida. Many of those counties do not have specialized programs for their first responders in their respective departments. Some of the first responders that do have help in their precinct report that they're not comfortable accessing that help for confidentiality reasons or fears of stigma and those kinds of issues. So they prefer going externally to receive the help.
The confidentiality part of peer support programs is huge. It is a safe space for us to release and get a general understanding of our feelings so that we can move forward.
For regular people that are calling 911, that's their lifeline, much like 211 is a first responder's lifeline. And it is imperative that we use it to stay healthy.
You fought for other people for an entire career. Fight for your own family, because those are the ones who are going to be hurt when you're gone.